Good night, Kapeash.
Good night, Kapeash.
This is
This is the late night show where we tell everyday scary stories about modern day music and whatever else comes to mind. If you feel like throwing us a chat, comments are right there. You got, what are we on? Is it YouTube today?
just YouTube today.
YouTube. By all means, you guys know where that live chat is. Go ahead and subscribe. It's free to do. Like the video, and let's get it started.
Also, today, also put in the chat for people that want to come up in the background. Feel free. Make sure you're decent enough before we bring you up on the panel. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I went around and asked a couple of people about things that that matters to them that they never normally hear discussed. And personal day off at work is something that people feel are important and they never hear a discussion about it. And the reason why I ask these questions because there's a lot of people on social media. There's a lot of people that listen to other people's contents and like that. Like I'm growing a small community of people that listen to my content, and you know what I'm saying, because I'm funny or I'm silly or you know I'm protecting a child person that needs to be out of office, whatever reason that people choose to listen.
Whether you're for or against, love him or hate him, we're here to see what the fucking deal is. Damn.
You know what I'm saying? You know, people listen to me. You know, people, hey, what's up? Stop through, check you out. You know, and I've been uploading content, and I noticed I've been uploading. I've been at first. Let me get this thing before we get deeper into the concept of personal days off, because that's where we're gonna start. But I noticed when I try to upload equal value of people having conversations, when AI make uploads, I try to, you know what I'm saying, not just me doing all the talking, but other people doing, you know what I'm saying, value points and stuff like that. So I never want somebody to feel like, dang, I'll be on the show, I see the shorts, but I know sometimes I say some good things and he never put my little value points out there. So I do put a lot of people value points out there, spreading the love and stuff like that. So I appreciate everybody coming up here and you know what I'm saying, give them how you truly feel, even if the next person who you're talking to it don't like it or not. You know, hey, grow some tough skin before you come up here on this panel.
I was about to say, if you jump into this panel, don't get me wrong, nobody's gonna just straight out be hateful or disrespect you on purpose. We might say some things that might hurt feelings, because like everybody gets their feelings hurt at times. As long as we can be respectful and have a conversation, that's all I'm about. The moment people start name calling and having some issues, I'm a pretty quick-witted guy. It's gonna end pretty bad.
So with that out the way, you know what I'm saying, shout out to people who used to be up here. And do I miss you guys? Not really.
It's like that New Year's resolution. Anybody who's trying to get right, yeah, fuck y'all. I'm doing the same shit next year that I was this.
On me.
Like if I'm gonna better myself as a person, it's gonna have nothing to fucking do with anybody else.
Yeah. I just know me trying to grow, and you know what I'm saying, I appreciate people's ideas, because without the ideas that I haven't ran across, I wouldn't be right here and
Right?
on this structured path. And I appreciate everybody for doing it. But you know, those who try to tag along and then you know what I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna poke fun at the bear while I tag along on the bear's platform. I think that was kind of like not smart. But you
I
know,
get you. I even said something like I was like, I kind of just sat there because like I wasn't used to shit like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm understanding like when people go back and forth, but
Yeah,
just the shots, like that's why I keep it civil with you because I understand like it doesn't need to go to name calling and belittling and all that. I understand that like I'll say it this way. That video we watched the other day, in case anybody who's watching did not get to watch, there was a clip stating why people are getting more aggressive towards MAGA members because, like, a lot of people are starting to feel that energy flip where they didn't used to, right? Some people are very passive in things and they've started to feel more aggressive and they're not aggressive people, right? And this girl actually had to sit down with her sister or cousin or somebody, I can't remember, but she's somebody who's very passive and she explained it like this: people were setting a line that they felt like if this person crossed, that they would see that it was the right choice to not go with him in the first place, right? Eventually, the line was crossed, and people still were okay with things, even though they drew a certain line. So, in our minds, as people who are watching this objectively from the outside, we are thinking that these people are changing their beliefs so they could support somebody for doing things going over the line on repeat. And that's making us feel like not only are we watching somebody not be a better person each and every day, but we're actually watching the opposite. We're watching somebody fall into the arms of like evil, of somebody who's going to create them to be evil or help them manage themselves into be evil or do evil things, even though they don't realize it, right? So we just want better for not only ourselves, the people around us, and the earth, but we're just trying to get people to see that like there are different options.
and you know, and in the same unfortunately way that y'all see it, other people on the other side see it the same way. I mean, see it the opposite, but same way. They saying that the person that they voted for
Which is
is a
why we
genuinely good guy, means good. Um, and then like the people that they follow, people that have strong beliefs that they all in line together. And
right.
so when y'all come along, and you know what I'm saying, I think it's just the it's the radicalization of it.
Right. No,
Passionate,
I get it.
okay. Um, into it, newly into it, but get passionate, okay. But when you radicalize yourself, I think that's just like okay. And then on the other side of it, outside of it, is the other people who
I do real quick before we get too far from the point. You said something about they believe that they voted for someone good, that they voted that he can do good things, right? I heard those words come out. Was I incorrect?
correct.
Okay. Now, when somebody like myself pulls up a humongous list that is factually accurate with sources, dates, timestamps, and quotes from the person themselves, right? Because we all draw lines, right? Nobody likes child molesters, right? Nobody likes rapists. We've drew
But
this
yet
line,
again, most of that stuff that you brought up was stuff that most of us already knew going into the election.
which is an issue to start. But now, not only has all this been re-brought out to light, many more things have not only happened but been brought to light again. So we're not only seeing the line being drawn extremely over to one side where it shouldn't have been, right? Because most people agree, wood chipper for all pedos, any rapist should be castrated, right? But then we put somebody's name in it because their ideals fit what we would like it to be because it's a little.
Yeah, but in the same token, you know, they didn't get the last guy. So what makes you think they're gonna get this guy? And this guy got, and you're gonna deny it. I get it, but there are countless of videos of this person actually touching in the White House, sniffing, grooming, caressing underage
Right.
girls.
And I have never said that that is acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Actually, quite the opposite. You will have seen posts on my Facebook advocating for him to be removed, just like I am advocating to get Trump removed because neither of them should have been in office. That's the problem. People try to divert it and point eyes somewhere else. I am focused on the person that actually got office that should not have. 34 felony counts in court, tried and charged. The only reason he didn't have to go to jail for that is because everybody elected him. So, due to the way that the laws work, he was granted immunity from his sentences. And people don't realize if he wouldn't have gotten elected, he would have been in jail the rest of his life.
Who don't? Okay, so who don't realize that?
Like most of the Magna members do not
They
understand how this
realize
works.
that. You know why they
No, they do
realize that?
not.
Yes, they do. And if they don't, they not real MAGA. And the only reason I'm saying that is for the simple fact Trump said that so many times. There's no way that you are a real MAGA and you did not know that. He campaigned on that.
What I'm saying is that so many, a majority that support him blindly do not understand that. I understand that there are a small percentage outliers. I get that. I'm talking about the vast majority of the people that support him. Although his support has plummeted
I would
crazily.
say you correct if you could agree that a small percentage of Trump supporters don't understand that. Then I will agree with you, and I will fully agree with you on you.
I can't say small percentage because I get our algorithms are different, but I do a lot of research, KP.
I do a lot of research too, and I can say like I say, I would agree with you if you say a small percentage, and we're not bringing up a number. You know what I'm saying? But if you,
I would actually be able to put a number to it because I watch these things called 20-on-1 debates, right? And they go through.
Jubilee.
There's several of them, but yeah, I think some of them are
Jubilee.
Is it Jubilee? They have different clips of different specific people on it, but I think if that's the name, you're probably right. I'm not going to argue, to be honest, because I haven't actually gone to the main channel. I just get a bunch of stuff on my algorithm about the one atheist versus 20 Christians.
Yeah, I watched the whole entire videos of those.
Yes, I watched those too. I love them. Fantastic. Have you seen that? Have you seen the Adam Mockler one?
The who?
If not, Adam Mockler, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
The news reporter guy.
I mean, he's a 22-year-old YouTuber. His name is Adam.
Brown
hair.
Brown. You have to show me.
Here, I got you. Just pull me in.
I thought it was blonde hair.
You're good. This is Adam. Oh. He's actually extremely intelligent for a 22-year-old kid.
No, I haven't seen him.
Look into some of his stuff. He destroys people, but in a respectful way. Like how you're talking about not to radicalize and all that. He will sit there and just straight facts, anything that they spit out. It's a lot of good arguments that I have used have come from him and who's the other gentleman?
The thing is, right now, one side is looking at it one way, the other side is looking at the other way.
Yeah, but there's facts.
Wait.
I get it.
Wait. The thing is, you only got 2 years left.
No.
And I know what you want to say. I know what you want to say, but yet again, you got 2 years left. I even talked to people who I would have 100% thought they would agree with you on your assumption. I just knew these people would agree with you with this because they extremely don't like Trump, and they don't believe it either that he's going to get impeached. So you know what I'm saying. If you can believe it, that's good, and you know what I'm saying. Don't stop believing, but yet
It's
again,
not about believing. That's the thing. Some people are believing. That's you guys are thinking from feeling. I'm not thinking from feeling. I'm looking at the facts of what the House is doing, what the people in Congress are doing, how everybody's handling things, and whenever Trump does something, how people are responding. That's the
so
difference.
my what if? So what if it don't happen? Then
That
how are you going? Then you
look, you do
how would you?
understand the
Hold
only
on, hold
way
on,
that
hold
it
on.
does not happen is if
Doc,
Trump
doc,
starts a
doc, doc,
war.
doc, 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 doc. Let me ask the question, then you can answer, please. So you can get, because I'm not just going to answer it, ask a simple, just like, what would you think would been your strategy for you being wrong?
I just stated the only way that he would be able to prevent the midterm not like happening at all is if he starts a war, which isn't going to happen. Not with the way things are right now.
So if you was wrong, it would have been because of a war.
Yeah, he would have to start an active war between the United States and another country. Not one of the passive wars that we're like assisting in or sending help or all this good stuff, like an actual active war. Yo, what up, Lucas?
So without a war, you're just 99.99% sure. Okay.
I would say closer to like 80% sure because there are a line of things that could probably happen, but from what I'm seeing in the house, I would say no, probably not. You have 5 Republicans that are openly stating they are no longer going to give in to certain demands. They're going to think through and do what they see fit instead of just doing what a
So
Republican
you believe
president
that the government's gonna go on strike on Valentine's Day?
Um, that one
Because
I don't
if you
know.
know if they go on strike, you know it's gonna be because of the Democrats.
What makes you say that?
Because they're the ones that want to hold out for the on the plan for ISIS, and then now that he did this healthcare cut, they definitely want to hold out and show Trump that hey, they're not happy with what he just did. As he looked up to see, oh, I forgot to tell her that my what's call is down.
So I didn't really look into it too much. That's why I was kind of looking for a couple of things. I guess because of the Department of Homeland Security having its funding expired, it's going to be highly likely that the government does a partial shutdown. As for who's responsible, they are being argued back and forth. Republicans are arguing Democrats are responsible because the GOP led House already passed a full year funding bill. They claim Senate Democrats are manufacturing a shutdown by blocking the bill to force unrelated policy changes. Democrats are arguing that Republicans are responsible due to the Senate Democrats blocking the funding because they demand stricter oversight and reforms for ICE, including body cameras and bans on racial profiling. They argue the current bill fails to rein in out of control enforcement. So, from what I'm reading, it looks like Democrats are trying to push for stricter oversight for ICE and making sure that they're handling things properly and wearing body cameras so they can't do things they shouldn't be. I wonder the fuck why. It's current events, Lucas, I believe. And then Republicans are arguing because of a previous passed bill. That's it. That's really all they have on here.
And I just asked you, do you think they might be shutting it down by what, the 14th? I think is when they claim.
From what I'm seeing, because of the funding being cut at a certain day, yes, I would say it's very likely. But whose fault it would be, I wouldn't say it's Democrats' fault. If they're pushing for something that the entirety of the people are asking for, they're doing what the people want, which is exactly what they're voted in the office to do. Whereas Republicans are stating because there was a full year funding bill that was already passed and it did not reach the certain amount, that Democrats are manufacturing this to block a bill and force policy changes on ICE.
Well, you answered it. You know what I'm saying? You think it most likely will be shut down by.
Yeah, I do think so. We'll see.
Olympics is popping off big. I don't know if people out there watching what's going on. Yes, anybody, the link is in the comments. If you want to come up, just make sure that you're properly dressed and cool. Once I see that you popped up backstage, I will bring you up. I have no problem with that. F1 racing is getting close, baby. I think we got like 3 weeks until the first race. When is the first race? I know we got 2 testings, and then they got the live testing, which I can't wait.
I was looking for some information, and for some reason, it scrolled past a meme, and it says a Trump person or a MAGA person walked over and said, "You would hate Trump even if you found a cure for cancer." Gotcha. The person replied, "He literally cut funding for cancer research and stole from a children's cancer charity." Makes sense? Not inaccurate. It's fucked up.
I need one more subscriber so I can be at 700.
For real? Hold on, let's see.
Huh?
I've been on here a lot. I don't even know if I'm subscribed, I'll be honest with you. You were at 298 when I just looked.
So what, I need 2?
Yeah, now you're at 299. You need one more.
I need one more.
One more.
New York mayor raises taxes to pay $12 billion migrant luxury hotel and debit card bill. Never. But this is Nate the lawyer talking about this. See, this all. Interesting. Interesting. That's the New York mayor. I'm gonna definitely have to look up that because my friend up there in New York is not too happy with the mayor so far already.
Why not?
The trash is piling up there real bad. And I know last time I seen that it was like a week behind schedule. She and a couple of people that posted, they feel like it's more like 2 to 3 weeks behind schedule.
Damn, that's a lot. Give me
Yeah.
1 second. I gotta go grab something from over in the other room.
Yeah, should we do this little? What time do we got? Yeah, think we will check out our old mayor, our New York mayor, because our New York mayor will show us an example of socialism and how it's supposed to be ran, because that's what he campaigned on. If he does a good job or a bad job, it's really sort of kind of up to him and what he does. I don't know. I'm just looking and learning for the first time, seeing socialism put into place. Um, also got this one discussion I shared. I'm gonna have to find this guy on YouTube to see what it's about. But I got this guy that put out this hypothesis about Hitler, and it caught my interest to actually have a conversation. Now, this Hitler piece is just like the Martin Luther King piece, where that definitely needs to be a special. I want to sit down, I want to do it, I want to have a nice panel of different minded people to discuss this, to see how many people speak out and how people speak. And I'm gonna tell people, hey, most of y'all probably want to get at a computer so you can add your add-on. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just want to see what this mayor in New York is about. Like I said, this is my first time looking at socialism. This is something that he campaigned on, that he was for the people, about the people. So how you going to tax for migrants?
Remember when New York was paying out all that money for illegal aliens to stay in upscale hotel rooms?
The city is renting some 5,000 rooms at a swanky hotel just one block from Times Square with spectacular views of the iconic skyline. Rooms cost up to $700 per night. Oh, there's also a top-of-the-line fitness center on the third floor.
And remember when they were giving the illegals $500 to $600 a month for groceries?
Kind of fear, but a fear tinged with frustration. Because when you hear about migrants receiving $53 million in prepaid credit cards, the Eric Adams administration in the mayor's office in New York City will tell you it's going to save about $600,000 a month. But that's not how poor people are looking at it. You know what black poor people are looking at it like? You know what Latinos who happen to be poor that arrived in this country are looking at it like? Where that money come from us?
But now that bill has come due, and the city is facing a $12 billion budget deficit.
I want to speak directly to New Yorkers who have for too long been misled and misinformed about the true state of our city's finances. I will be blunt. New York City is facing a serious fiscal crisis. There is a massive fiscal deficit in our city's budget to the tune of at least $12 billion.
So let me tell you how we got here.
So the $12 billion part is at least true. Y'all go check out Nate the Lawyer. Go check out Nate the Lawyer. I'm tripping. Go check out Nate the Lawyer. You can find this full thing in the comment section. Go check out Nate the Lawyer. Go watch this fully for yourself. This is my other TV lawyer. When I come to stuff that I can pull up that I know I don't get a flag for. And I appreciate that I do have 2 lawyers I can go to that I can work with without getting in trouble on the tube of the U. So, 12 billion. I'm curious. That's curious.
Let's be honest. In today's world, the math isn't adding up lately. Between the grocery store and those skyrocketing insurance premiums, even with a steady job, more families are being forced to rely on high-interest credit cards to cover simple expenses. Now, if you're a homeowner caught up in that cycle, carrying balances with interest rates in the 20s and 30s, it's time to get some relief. Right now, mortgage rates are at a 3-year low, and my friends at American Financing are helping homeowners pay off those high-interest debts at rates that are in the low 5s. Now, their salary-based mortgage up to American 50-30. Now you want
defending spending.
The poor citizens of the mayor there spent $6 deficit. Now it's a state of America. Now, as you heard, New York is facing a $12 billion deficit. Now it's a similar story to what we've already covered in Chicago. The mayor there spent $600 million on migrants, and now he wants to tax the poor citizens of Chicago to pay for that migrant help.
Brandon Johnson defending spending taxpayer dollars on maintaining a welcoming city while being interrogated by the House Oversight Committee in Washington today.
You're the mayor of Chicago. Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs, their own roads, their own public safety?
The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago, and we serve all the residents of the city of Chicago.
But that service comes with a cost. According to data obtained by the ABC 7i team, since September of 2022, the city has paid out $638.7 million in vendor contracts for new arrivals.
Now, Brandon Johnson is a progressive Democrat in Chicago. And what did he do when he saw that there was a hole? He said, hey, he's going to raise tax. And that's what they did. They raised shopping bag taxes and Uber rides. And if you want booze or online gaming, they raised those taxes. And those taxes are going to disproportionately affect the poor people. People who are working paycheck to paycheck are going to have to pay more for shopping bags, for instance. And those poor Black people in Chicago felt that they had been betrayed by their mayor and had buyer's remorse.
I'm standing here tonight with buyer's remorse. Because I supported Mayor Brandon Johnson. I feel like a fool right now. I feel like a plum fool.
They got a group in Chicago called Turn Chicago Red that shows up to Brandon Johnson's every town hall meeting, everywhere he goes, discuss the things that they don't like. And if he don't like, stuff that they don't like, and if he don't do what they want, they gonna try to flip Chicago red for real. Will it happen? I don't know. But it's just exciting to see somebody challenge people in office that don't like it and not being all aggressive. They're doing it the right way. They call themselves this. They're not making, noise to where they're calling corruption. Peacefully going to these protesters and these town hall meetings where Brandon Johnson be at and speak their mind. Is this lady part of it? I don't know. She just reminded me of it, so I wanted to say that.
But I tell you what. It's okay. Because as I said last night, you can slap us in the face by ignoring us today, but we are punching you in the face by ignoring you at the polling places tomorrow.
Now, that's Chicago crying over $600 million. But then we move to the city of New York, where the mayor at the time, Eric Adams, said that they were projecting a $12 billion budget deficit because of how much they spent on illegal.
Need to create more video content, but don't have enough hours in the day? With Animoto, you can create pro-quality videos.
Aliens.
Finally, we need the federal government to lead a decompression strategy at the border so cities and states across the nation can do their part to shelter asylum seekers. Because cities like New York, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, and El Paso cannot be left to shoulder a national crisis without the proper aid. Again, if we don't get the support we need, New Yorkers could be left with a $12 billion bill.
Now, to understand why we're $12 billion in a hole, I got to tell you about the sanctuary.
So Mayor Adam warned you that it was going to be a $12 billion deficit. And then the new mayor comes out and says, we do have a $12 million problem deficit. Okay.
State of New York. I know. Every time I do one of these videos, I go through the whole story again. This is going to be a condensed version because I need someone who's watching this video for the first time, who's never watched one of my videos, to understand how we kind of got here. So for those of you who've watched these videos before, bear with me for like 2 or 3 minutes, right? So as you know, New York State is a sanctuary state. This means that they will not assist the federal government in deportations. Now, they had this policy of welcoming migrants or immigrants with open arms, right? Now, if you've watched one of these videos before, you've probably seen this clip of the New York State Governor, Kathy Hochul, who's literally begging for migrants to come to the city, saying that they're welcome, we can take care of you, we're going to do all this great stuff to you. We're going to roll that clip because I want you to see how committed New York State was to having migrants come and being able to take care of migrants to grow their state. They were essentially the sanctuary state of sanctuary states.
Want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country, into this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. And the richness of the culture and the diversity and the food and the restaurants that we know are going to be coming because of these efforts are beyond measure. It's an extraordinary part of our story. And it's woven into the story of New York, and it makes us more vibrant.
Now, as we've also documented here on this channel many times, the advocates of the sanctuary state of New York also considered reasonable border policy to be racist and xenophobic. Their words, not mine. Now, when President Joe Biden got into office, the floodgates opened up, right? They were like, hey, we want to let as many people in as possible because we're pro-immigration. We want more immigrants. So Joe Biden did what the Democrats wanted him to do. They opened up the border. And you had millions, and I mean millions of people now crossing the southern border into the United States.
This family soon adding to what has become a record-breaking year of border crossings. In this fiscal year alone, Customs and Border Patrol have encountered more than 2 million migrants, breaking the record previously set last year. Most of those encounters, single men and family units.
Now, the problem with all this is that who's going to take care of these people? Like you just heard it, 2 million people, right? 1.9, 2 million people. Who's going to take care of all those people? Because those people don't have jobs. They're not legally allowed to work. They're just kind of here in the United States. So that was the battle that we had going on. Now, the Trump administration kept everybody out, so you had immigration low. But the Biden administration said, hey, we're going to bring them all in, right? We're going to bring them all in. 2 million people came across the border, as you saw. So this now made a quandary for states like Texas, because all those people were walking into Texas and Arizona, all those border states. So the governor of Texas said, well, let's do this. New York says we want immigrants. They'll protect.
Can you pause that for a second?
Being deported.
So I have one really huge problem. When you open the border, that I understand that it allows a lot of people to come through, but not all of them stayed here without actually trying to advance into getting a visa and employment and doing work and paying taxes. Like a lot of people have that as a misconception. If you look into the stats, the migrants that come over are not only on papers, they end up getting jobs and paying taxes. When Republicans take over House and deport, it actually drops the income and revenue of the areas where the migrants lived by a substantial amount and leaves a hole where most like places were having more money spent from the extra migrants, not only making income, paying taxes, but then buying things in commerce.
Okay. Audience, y'all got that? They got that.
We have the money to pay for them. Let's start sending these migrants to places that want them.
Radical agenda until it inconveniences them. They want to defund the police until their city gets burned down. They want green energy, but don't ask them to give up their private planes and SUVs. And they totally support open borders and sanctuary cities until a surge of migrants come to their backyard. This was D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser in 2017.
I can't say it any more clearly of what it means for Washington, D.C. to be a sanctuary city.
But now that her city's flooded with migrants, she's begging for the National Guard.
We need the federal government to be involved. So I've asked for the deployment of the Guard, as long as we need the Guard to deal with the humanitarian crisis that we expect to escalate. The number of people crossing the border seeking asylum, we expect to only go up.
She's not the only one. New York Mayor Eric Adams is begging for federal help, too, as hundreds of migrants have overwhelmed the city's homeless shelters. We spoke to a few of them last month.
You stay at the shelter last night?
I slept right here on the street. They told us there are more opportunities for work here, more stability, everything we see on TV. But I see that is not true.
You'd think they'd blame Joe Biden's broken border policies for their newfound.
Is that stuff what you're talking about too?
So I'm talking about the U.S. as a whole. If we want to break it down to actually New York, because like the U.S. as a whole in 2022, the unemployment rate of foreign-born workers or foreign-born people was 3.4%, making it 61.1% employment and had DACA eligibility.
Okay.
But if we're talking about, what about specifically in New York City? For those that arrived in 2022, they gained a legal work visa. It was a slow process due to federal laws requiring 150 days of waiting, which is why everybody was scrambling about the asylum applications. The employment rate was around 80% in New York City, and the visa status all came in the next year after the 150-day waiting period at around the same at 80%. Tax contributions in 2022 from just immigrants with legal work visas was $3.1 billion. So for people to say that they were just not contributing and not helping is just factually inaccurate.
But this is said that it was hard for them to find jobs. So a lot of that was private jobs
that was a individual on the street, right? So what are the chances that that person was just speaking and not actually telling the truth? It's not like they're under oath or anything. They're just talking about their experience. Maybe they couldn't find anything specifically they wanted. Maybe there were still jobs available. But by the look of it, you can see that there clearly was not only plenty of jobs, but a majority of the immigrants were employed and had their visas.
All right. Okay. How about that? Okay.
Humanitarian crises, but they're blaming Texas Governor Greg Abbott for busing migrants to their cities.
Well, he said two things. One is that it was a crisis, and the fact of the matter is, I don't know of a larger crisis in our country right now. And this is a crisis caused by the Biden administration. Remember, 2 years ago, we had the lowest number of border crossings in decades. Today, we have the highest number of illegal crossings into the United States ever. If you show your viewers what is going on the Texas border, they will see that it's a crisis. Before we begin busing illegal immigrants up to New York, it was just Texas and Arizona that bore the brunt of all of the chaos and all the problems that come with it. Now the rest of America is understanding exactly what is going on.
And the governor of Texas was right. All these places started declaring states of emergency because they had to take care of the migrants that they begged for.
Governor Healy just declared a state of emergency in Massachusetts because of the number of migrants arriving in Massachusetts. Healy says they are overwhelming local shelters.
They're here because Massachusetts has and will always be a beacon of hope, compassion, humanity, and opportunity.
It even happened in Chicago. Here, Chicago, again, state of emergency. We're getting migrants. This is crazy.
Here in Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot just issued an emergency declaration in response to the surge of migrants being bused to the city by Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
Casey Cronus is live from City Hall with the latest on this. Natalie and Anthony, at least 48 more migrants arrived to the city today, and Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she doesn't expect the buses to stop anytime soon. Just as that surge is expected, the city's 7 migrant shelters and 3 respite sites are now overrun. Since last August, the city has welcomed more than 8,000 migrants, but funding and resources are dwindling.
And obviously, since we're talking about New York, here's New York declaring a state of emergency. We got too many migrants.
The New York City Mayor Eric Adams declaring a state of emergency over the ever-escalating number of asylum seekers coming to the city. The mayor says the shelter system is overwhelmed and that after today, the city will set a new record for the highest number of people ever in the system.
Although our compassion is limitless, our resources are not.
So as you see, New York has a problem, and they made the problem even worse by recklessly spending this money. For instance, they put migrants up in $700 hotel rooms.
Some breaking news now. The Department of Homeland Security firing 4 FEMA employees after it was revealed they authorized $59 million in payments for luxury hotels in New York City to house migrants.
Can you be a travel advisor without quitting your 9 to 5? Actually, yes. We're Fora, the modern travel agent.
Flashback. Welcome back. New video into Fox News of 5 more buses carrying migrants from Texas arriving in New York City earlier this morning.
Like 20 seconds. Right there. Where it says it fired FEMA employees. I want to listen. What year was this? 22, right?
22.
I just want to make sure. Go ahead and play it.
In $700 hotel rooms.
Some breaking news now. The Department of Homeland Security firing 4 FEMA employees after it was revealed they authorized $59 million in payments for luxury hotels in New York City to house migrants.
Flashback.
Welcome back. New video into Fox News of 5 more buses carrying migrants from Texas arriving in New York City earlier this morning. And we're learning more about where many are staying at taxpayer expense. The city is renting some 5,000 rooms at a swanky hotel just 1 block from Times Square with spectacular views of the iconic.
I want to know who the hell authorized that shit.
I think the people that they said that they got fired earlier in the early report.
Right. There was 4 of them, but like, who, like, why not buy a fucking building at that point? If you're going to authorize that much, might as well buy a fucking building and let them stay in the motherfucker.
True.
You show a building afterwards.
It was the fact of the ramp. New York didn't expect all them people to come at all. And they had no plan. So you had people that just scrambled with ideas and found places that were empty, that was willing to house some people for whatever it took, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can't fault, but then, you know, you're at fault because you didn't think outside the box. You just thought irrational. I'm just trying to house these people and get a paycheck.
Skyline. Rooms cost up to $700 per night. Oh, there's also a top-of-the-line fitness center on the 3rd floor. Officials are keeping the cost of all of this under wraps.
Another celebrity, rapper 50 Cent, upset over a plan in New York City to spend $53 million by giving migrant families prepaid credit cards. The rapper says it makes no sense. And guess what? It might even motivate him to vote for Donald Trump.
Now, the thing that makes this even worse is that when they told the migrants to leave the $600 a night hotel rooms, the migrants refused.
Tonight, Mayor Adams getting pushback from some asylum seekers who are being told to move out of their West Side hotel and into a new facility in Brooklyn.
This is a live look right now at the Watson Hotel on West 57th Street, where some people are still refusing to leave. CBS 2's political reporter Marcia Kramer says the mayor wants to use the hotel for families. Marcia.
Well, Jessica and Maurice, it's a problem city officials apparently didn't see coming. Asylum seekers who got used to the privacy of living in a hotel room don't want to move to a congregate shelter where everyone sleeps packed like sardines in a room with 1,000 cots.
So now, as you
and makes plenty of sense. It does. I get it. I've been in a luxury hotel. Y'all was treating me nice. You was treating me right. I was chilling. I didn't do nothing. And all of a sudden now y'all telling me I got to go to this prison like hotel where I should have been in the first place. Not living better than people who worked hard, who did the right thing to come here, and who just, you know, people that came here during the Biden just had a good opportunity to come to America and get a good start. Not knowing that this was going to be the follow-up, but yet again, I get it. That's about as much as y'all get out of me.
see, the city was spending money willy-nilly, and that money added up. And eventually, Mayor Adams hit the city with the reality of how much they were spending. $12 billion on the migrant crisis.
Finally, we need the federal government to lead a decompression strategy at the border so cities and states across the nation can do their part to shelter asylum seekers. Because cities like New York, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, and El Paso cannot be left to shoulder a national crisis without the proper aid. Again, if we don't get the support we need, New Yorkers could be left with a $12 billion bill.
Now, we'll fast forward. Mayor Adams lost the election, was kicked out for Zohran Mamdani, and Zohran comes in and says, hey, we got a $12 billion budget deficit for taking care of migrants. We need to tax the people so we can pay for the illegal migrants that we put up in $600 hotel rooms. Here's what he said.
Mayor Mamdani sounds the alarm about a massive $12 billion budget deficit and calls to tax the rich to close the gap.
I will be blunt. New York City is facing a serious fiscal crisis. We did not arrive at this place by accident. This crisis has a name and a chief architect. In the words of the Jackson Five, it's as easy as ABC.
4 weeks after he was sworn in, Mayor Mamdani gets down to the nitty-gritty. A deficit of $2 billion appeared in the weeks of his predecessor's final term, and now $10 billion swarming the upcoming budget. So how to pay for it? The mayor says higher taxes for anyone making more than $1 million a year. But what's the definition of a millionaire in New York City when the cost of some studio apartments here is $1 million?
So the new socialist mayor is clear.
Damn. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. My apartment cost $1 million, and now you want to tax me. I know he's not trying to tax him $1 million. Maybe just
No, he
tax
ain't
me.
trying to tax him $1 million. He's just saying anybody making over $1 million is going to get a heavier tax. But like, is he trying to say the apartments are $1 million in a year?
No, rent is $1 million.
Rent's not $1
I
million.
have heard. Yeah, oh yeah. We could please take the
Oh
time.
shit. Is it really?
Yeah.
I've lived in New York, dude. It wasn't fucking that bad. Holy shit.
I mean, not where you was living.
Dude, New York. New York, New York.
Yeah, but we talking about taxing the millionaires. They probably living in some places that cost $1 million. The higher up that you look with a view, probably gonna cost you a pretty penny. 22nd floor, 30th floor, 40th floor. Them come with views.
Bro, you got studios for $2,677 a month. You got 1 bedrooms for $3,193 a month. You got 2 bedrooms for $3,937 a month. You got studios for $2,200, 1 bedrooms for $2,985, 2 bedrooms for $3,750, studios for $1,750, 1 bedrooms for $1,950, $1,850 for studio, 1 bedroom $2,100, 2 bedrooms $2,600. Need I go on?
Okay.
This is New York, New York. They're probably talking about collectively throughout the fucking year. Here, I'll take the most expensive one, $4,352. All right, $4,352. We're gonna times that by 52. Even doing a full year is $226,000. All right, so that right there, if you're making $1 million, $1 million a month, or $1 million a paycheck, whatever he's considering, there's no fucking way that not only can you not afford, I get that people don't like the thought of it, but like, let's be honest, math be mathin', and you can't run from math. It's not like he's trying to tax them fucking like, let's see, if you make $1 million, $1 million, what, a month? Is that what we're saying?
Text isn't quite clear to me.
I didn't know you were asking the AI.
I didn't get to. As soon as you like,
my fault.
No,
I didn't
you
know.
good. You good. You good. You good. You good. Let me see how to do this. Are there luxury apartments in New York that cost $1 million?
Yes, you can definitely find luxury apartments in New York around $1 million, though the definition of luxury can vary quite a bit. Your options might be in different boroughs or neighborhoods with varying sizes and amenities. Are you looking for something specific, like a certain area or features?
Is that $1 million per month?
Oh, no, that's typically the purchase price, not the monthly rent. $1 million would be the total cost to buy an apartment. Monthly
Thank
rent
you.
on a luxury apartment. You're welcome.
Math be mathin'.
Hey, $1 million to buy an apartment.
I am autistic and math. I like math.
But yet again, stuff like that is why millionaires leave big states like that. Ask California.
I get it, but if their job is based there and they can't go anywhere, what are they gonna do? They have to find a way to leave, right?
That's why I said businesses are gonna leave.
Yeah.
I ain't say millionaire. I said that's why businesses end up leaving. Cause them taxes, billionaires are people that create businesses. So if you're taxing them, because them the people that you're kind of aiming at, they leave, they're taking their business with them.
Yeah. Clears up space for somebody else. Eventually, somebody would be okay with it. Same thing with rotating through workers until you find a good one.
Yeah, but then who's gonna fill in that gap of that hole that you're trying to pay that 12 bill? Somebody
Well, I mean,
gotta,
if he's not going to, then it's no loss. If he's not wanting to pay higher taxes, no loss, no harm.
Clear, he's going to tax his way out of this. Here is what he's proposing.
Let's break this all down. Mamdani says his main focus is to balance the budget, and it's through savings and efficiencies. He pointed to a, quote, unusable AI chatbot that cost the city $500,000. He says slashing that's going to help, but it's not going to be enough. Mamdani's goal is also to get some more money from the state. He says that there is an $8 billion a year difference between what the city provides in revenue to the state and what the state gives back to the city. But the biggest piece of the puzzle, raising taxes. Mamdani wants to raise the corporate tax to 11.5%, and that would match New Jersey's rate. His plan is also to tax any household that makes over $1 million, an additional 2%. Now, this really doesn't come as a surprise. This is what he ran on. However, Governor Kathy Hochul has repeatedly said that she's against raising taxes. So this is what Mamdani said in response to someone asking about that today.
We've been very open and honest with the governor and the governor's team, as well as with legislative leaders, as to the scale of this crisis and the need for us to respond to it in a manner that addresses the enormity of it. That will require increased revenue. It will require a new relationship with the state.
So as you just heard, the mayor needs the governor to raise taxes. But the governor, her name is Kathy Hochul, decided she will not raise taxes, period.
We're not raising taxes in the state of New York. I'm not raising taxes for the sake of raising taxes. So he'll continue to say what he needs to say. I'll continue to say what I want to say. And you can report it any way you want.
But Mamdani believes he can persuade the governor and lawmakers.
As he has described it, a democratic socialist agenda, free childcare, free buses, rent freeze, the list goes on. I talked to him on Monday night. He said to me he hasn't wavered 1 millimeter on raising taxes on New York City's wealthiest residents to pay for some of that. Now, Governor, you have said repeatedly that you would not raise taxes. You said, quote, I've said there's no new income taxes. Do you stand by that promise?
Yes.
So we're at the end of the video. In Chicago, they decided to tax everyone to pay for the migrants. And the mayor in Chicago seems to be on his way out because no one wants their taxes raised, especially to pay for illegal immigrants they didn't have to pay for. And now in New York, they're going through the same thing. The governor is like, yo, I'm not raising taxes to pay for your problem. You wanted the migrants, you got to pay for the migrants. Now, you guys got to think about the total irony here. These people in New York and Chicago are saying, you're racist if you don't let these migrants in. You're racist if you don't pay all the money to support them. And that's exactly what happened. The people in Texas and Arizona said, okay, we're sending the migrants to you so you can pay the money to take care of them, so you can have that compassion. And now that bill has come due. And guess what? No one wants to pay for it. What a shocker. Tell me where we're in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do like great YouTube stuff.
2%, I'll be all right.
Yep. You get it. Math.
That 11%. That's to the average. That's to everybody.
That's the corporate. Yeah, that's corporate tax. But like, isn't it already like, what is it, 9 or is it 10 over there?
I don't know. I just know that 11 is to everybody. All of y'all gonna feel that.
Okay, Google. What is the current corporate tax in New York City? New York City's. Oh, 8.85. Yeah, they're gonna feel that. It says 8.85 to taxpayers, 9.0 to financial corporations, 4.4 to 8.8 to qualified manufacturing corporations, and then 6.5 to 8.8 to small businesses.
8 point what to small businesses?
6.5 to 8.85, depending on the type of small business.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 to 8.8.
Ooh wee. Ooh wee.
They're gonna feel that though. It's gonna go up from 8% to 11.5. Yeah, they're gonna feel that.
Bro, I do not want to get my hair done. All
right, brother. I am gonna jump out of here.
So are you saying those words? Those magic words?
Yes, sir. Good night, Kapeash.
Good night, Kapeash.